So good evening, everyone. Welcome to Step Up to Success, the final module. So absolutely well done if you're here live, but also well done if you are watching this on recording. We were just saying in the chat that it's something like 80% of people normally on a group coaching program, by the time you get to the end of it, are not still participating in the live events, particularly if they're evenings. Apparently that was a statistic I saw earlier. So well done all of you for giving up another Thursday evening, and I really do hope that you have got some value from this course. I know it's been, for some of you, some bits will have been much more effective than others. Some of you will just have had some ideas, but you know, I've really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate all of your support and, you know, being here with me, because if I was talking to myself tonight I would feel a bit sad. So thank you for being here again. So tonight is really a sort of recap. There's a few new bits in here tonight, which is going to get you stretching and thinking a bit more, but mostly it's a sort of recap of everything we've done, trying to pull it all together and think about the bits that maybe you need the most help with, maybe the bits that you feel have been the most use. And well done if you feel that you've put any of it into any sort of action. And you know, even if you haven't yet, we are coming towards the end of 2021, so it is quite nice to have some more ideas to go forward with in the new year, and you know, to be thinking about a bit of a plan and how we're going to build stuff and make it work next year as well. So I am just going to get the slides up and we'll see how we get on with the chat as well while we're going. Oh, Kate's in the waiting room. I'm sure Julie's seen that. Thank you, Julie. Right, I've just got to move you around so I can get the slides working. In just 2 minutes, it always takes. All right, you've all moved down to the bottom now. Actually, that's a bit strange. I can see Marie and Deb and Sean at the moment, but I am going to have to move you again because I can't see the bottom of the bar. Just excuse me. Oh, I've done it already. That's right. Zoom's being really not very helpful to me. It's put you all, there we go. That's better. It's funny, isn't it, when you move the faces around the screen and then you can see what you want to see. So yes, module 6, bringing it all together. And really, are you ready to step up? You know, if you've started already, then fantastic. But I hope that this has given you some sort of tracks to run on and a bit of motivation, inspiration to grow your business through the next few weeks, months, years, and however long that you want to. So this is, you know, really the first module. I'm sure you all remember going back. Module number 1 was very much about your own mindset. And I still strongly believe that that is the biggest thing when it comes to anything in life, whatever it is, whatever goals you're setting, whether it's business, whether it's, you know, your health, anything. I believe mindset is the most important thing. So that's the thing that personally I keep coming back to. So I love that. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. It's up to you what you let in. And it is sometimes just as simple as that. There's so much negativity around us all the time, particularly at the moment with COVID and news. And, you know, it's very, very negative, the general society environment that we live in, and it's very, very easy to be brought down by that. So if you feel affected by stuff, you have to work even harder to make sure that you are feeling positive by, you know, surrounding yourself with positive people, positive affirmations, and all the things that we've talked about through the course. I can't actually see the chat, so we're going to have to do that a bit later. It doesn't matter. But yeah, do not let anything or anyone in that does not serve you well. So protect your mind. Really, really do work hard at that. And going back to those self-limiting beliefs, we're going to talk about those a bit more now. But I think the strongest one that I hear all the time from people is that whole worrying what other people think of them. You know, I honestly believe that is probably the biggest, most common self-limiting belief that stops people doing what they want to do because they're too worried about what other people are going to think. So, you know, just quite simply there, ask yourself that question: are you going to let other people's opinions steal your dream life? Because that is actually what it comes down to, if that is one of the things that bothers you the most. Now, I asked on the worksheet for you to write down the 5 most common self-limiting beliefs. And I was going to ask you to put it in the chat, but sadly I can't see the chat. So I'm going to put the screen up, which was my 5, but this might, you know, this is just the 5 that sprung to mind most for me. There might be others that, let me just see, actually I can probably. Let me just see if that works. Oh yeah, it just comes up in the middle of the screen for me, which is all right for a minute. So just before I go to the next screen, just in the chat, if you can get to the chat, just put in there what, so if I'm talking about the 5 most common self-limiting beliefs, what do you believe they might be? Or what are they for you? Because it's not that I've got all the answers at all. It's just what came up to me. So if you can use the chat, Just put some stuff in the chat. So fear, Sean. Okay, that's, yeah, fear of, and there can be lots of different things that can go into. Yeah, you're not good enough, Julie. That is really right up there. Fear of rejection. Okay, and that really does come down to what other people think of you in a way, Sean, doesn't it? Because you're worried about someone saying no to you and then thinking that you're stupid and your idea isn't any good, and that, you know, they're going to say, why are you doing that? You know, what are you doing that for? And how stupid is that? And that all ties up with the other people's opinion a little bit. Am I worthy? I'm not good enough. I'm not worth it. Look at it. You're all good at this bit. I wonder if you'll be good at when I put the positive stuff in. But no, that's it. That is, you know, that is what we think, isn't it? A lot of the time, you know, it's I'm not good enough, that imposter syndrome and all of those type of things. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Lack of belief. Yeah, Maria said. So is that in yourself? Would you say, Marie, lack of belief in yourself?
No, I'm being positive.
No, okay, so that is a self-limiting.
For me, I think the most important one is mindset. But I don't know, I push myself. I don't feel as if I've got a problem with any of it. I've just got to get in front of more people.
Okay, yeah, that's
difficult because of family circumstances, but I'll do it.
Yeah, but there will be other, so we've still got to do our one-to-one, because there will be other reasons.
Why I'd like to
as well, so we've got to get that sorted. Yeah, lack of belief, definitely. Okay,
being cold is definitely a one for me. I don't like being cold.
No, okay, right, cool. So I'm going to put out the 5 that I put down just to help you fill in the sheet if you haven't got them all down. So just have a little look. So there we are. So we've got, oh, Vanessa's in the waiting room. Julie, I'm sure you've seen that. Can you let her in, please? Yeah. Thank you. So number 1 was one that Julie said there, and a couple of you did. I am not good enough. You know, that's that old imposter syndrome thing as well. Sometimes is that you think, why should people listen to me? You know, what do I know and all that? I'm not good enough to do this. You absolutely are. Please put yourself on mute if you're not on mute, unless you're chatting to me. That's fine. There's just a bit of background noise there. Everyone else is better than me. That's the same. It's you know, the other side of the coin, really. I'm not good enough and everybody else is better than me. So it's comparing yourself to other people all the time. We mustn't do that, because nobody is the same. No two people, no two human beings are the same, and no two human beings have the same set of circumstances that have got them to where they are. So to compare yourself to anybody else in your business or in life, or, you know, same age as you, it doesn't work. You know, everybody else has different things going on. So that is something that's really got to try and tackle that. I don't know enough, fear of rejection, fear of failure. So that's just some of them. I'm not saying that that's that's not all the mind monkeys we have, but they're the sort of main ones that is really worth tackling with and thinking about. So which is yours? You know, so just write on your workbook there, or if you've just got a notepad and pen, which out of those things, you've put them in the chat, but what do you really still feel is your most overriding self-limiting belief out of those, or something else that stops you? That's worth writing down now. And then I suppose the next thing, and we can do this in the chat again, just before we get to the next slide. I'm making you work a bit tonight, you see, because I thought if I did this first week, you wouldn't have come back, would you? But I'm doing it tonight. So, so before I get to the next slide, what can you do? So what 5 things, or what things could you do to overcome your self-limiting beliefs? Well done, brilliant. Affirmations, that's great. So I'm glad you were listening on week 1. So obviously you've got to tackle them head on. You know, you've got to reverse it in your mind. Definitely more training, well done. So if you don't think you know enough, then you can absolutely do more about that, can't you? Get more skills, get more knowledge, get more training to make you feel more confident. Definitely goal setting, yeah, buddying up, association is, I think that is the thing, really, one of the big things, because if you're surrounded by people telling you can do it, and supportive people, that makes such a difference. Absolutely believe in yourself. Well done, Sean. That's really key as well. Okay, that's fine. So I'm just going to come out of that again and now just go to the next slide, and this will just help you fill in some of those gaps. So create an alternative belief. So that is your affirmations, isn't it? So it's keep telling yourself the opposite of whatever it is that's stopping you. And number 2 is quite interesting, because I'm working with somebody at the moment who has a self-limiting belief that actually isn't true. And this finding evidence and creating evidence that your belief is not true, what I mean by that is, so let's say, for example, you think you're not good enough. you know, you're not good enough in life, you've never been very successful, you've not ever done anything, people, you know, think that you're not good enough, or you're stupid, that's what you think. You know, actually to go and write a list about all your achievements and everything that you've actually done, because if you give yourself enough evidence that your self-limiting belief is rubbish, that will help you get over that as well. So finding evidence and creating evidence that your belief is not true. So think about that one. That's something we didn't sort of touch on before, and that's sort of come out since then. Obviously surrounding yourself with positive people, read positive stuff. You know, what are you feeding your mind on a daily basis? Because feeding your mind with healthy stuff is probably more important than feeding your body with healthy stuff. You know, we see that all the time, don't we? People are always going on about, you know, health, nutrition, what you're going to do to get fitter. Well, what about your mental health? Because that is obviously very, very important. And then, you know, for me, it's not just about the affirmations. It's not just about reading. It's not just about surrounding yourself. It's about doing something, you know, taking action as well, because the way to get over self-limiting beliefs and fears in particular, and I know this because all my life, I'm not a brave person at all. So when I started riding, I was really scared every day. I was really scared. And when I started eventing, I was really scared. People think I'm super confident, but I'm not. I've made myself do it because my goals are stronger than my fear. Does that make sense? So sometimes you've got to want something bad enough that you will go through the stuff that's difficult to get to where you want to go. And so you have got to be prepared to stretch yourself. You've got to be prepared to step out of that comfort zone, but don't leap out of it. You know, don't try and leap from here to 3 miles ahead, because then you frighten yourself to death. It's like, you know, not being able to ride, getting on and trying to jump a hedge or something on day one. Now, that is silly. So take the steps that are necessary to stretch yourself a little bit, but protect yourself as well. So I hope that makes sense. That's a sort of a wrap up on the mindset stuff. I mean, obviously we could go on all night about that again, but I can't, because I've only got you for an hour and I need to wrap up. Tonight's a full one. We've got lots on. So then we talked about the money mindset stuff. I know for some of you that was quite revealing. For some of you, it didn't really mean much because you think you're okay on that. I find it fascinating. I know some of you will have seen my post about the pony and the vet's bill last night, and it was absolutely a revelation to me that my first thought was, oh God, how long have I got to pay it? You know, well, that's Christmas over, you know, I can't do anything. Oh my God, it's sick. And I wasn't expecting a £630 vet's bill for one cut, I must say. He did have some expensive drugs, but then immediately, you know, I thought, no, hang on a minute. That's not what I've been teaching everybody else. That's going back to my old ways, and I'm not going to do that. So I looked and saw that there was a 10% discount, you know, if I paid within two days, and actually thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And had the money there to do it, which was amazing. So how do you feel about receiving money? There'll be one of these three things. So how do you feel about receiving money? How do you feel about giving money away? And how do you feel about holding on to money? We didn't sort of go into this, but this is sort of step 2 of that money stuff that we did. A book recommendation, I know I've probably mentioned it before, but Get Rich Lucky Bitch. It's okay for men as well, Sean, it will work. It's a little bit female orientated, but it will work. Get Rich Lucky Bitch is a really good book. So if you were interested in that money stuff, read that book, get the book and read it. It is really good, and it really is very fascinating. So which of those makes you feel the most uncomfortable? If you think of those three things, which of those makes you feel the most uncomfortable? You may find that that's where you're I love receiving money. I give it away far too easily. I was good at holding on to it before I had children. That's interesting. So actually, yeah, so if you love receiving it, but give it away far too easily, it is the holding on to it at the moment that is the problem. Is I know what that's like, because you've got kids that bleed you dry and they just want it and it doesn't last long. Emma Bennell's already read the book. That's brilliant, Emma. So I hope you probably recognize some of the stuff we've covered anyway from that. Brilliant. Okay, and then your financial business goal for 2022. And I would like to bet my bottom dollar that those of you in Utility Warehouse have not written a financial goal down for 2022. So that is something I want you to think about. How much money in total from the 1st of January to the 31st of December in 2022 do you want to earn out of your business? And that's an interesting one. And the reason, sometimes I think most of you here tonight are Utility Warehouse. Obviously on the replay there's other people as well, but the reason why people don't is because we stress so much in the business about do the activity, you know, focus on the activity and the results will come. But actually at some point you have to start focusing on the results and focusing on what you want. And some of you will have heard me say at the 1st of November, I decided to focus on money through November for my customer bonuses and stuff, rather than points and rather than, you know, just group numbers. And I had my very best month in November ever with Utility Warehouse, with customer bonus and upfront money, which is astonishing when actually I've probably spent a fifth of the time on it than I have in some other months. So that for me, again, was a real eye-opener. So sometimes when you're focusing on what you want to get from things, you naturally don't do some of the stuff that could be fluff, that could be when you think you're working on something, but you're just really moving your pad around the desk and ticking off some stuff and maybe not doing it. So just got interest in there. Is that extra stuff in the chat? Good at putting myself last. Yeah, love what money can do and help with. Brilliant. That's great, Anne. Well done. Okay, so that's that bit. So that's the money mindset bit that we did last time. Then we talked, didn't we, about your business mission? You know, your business mission, as in what do you want to give the world through your business? And that needs to be so exciting to you that you literally want to leap out of bed every day and crack on with it. And you know, if you know that you're in alignment with what you really want and your business is working towards what you want, it won't feel like work. It will be something that you're passionate about and you want to do. We talked about ideal audience. I know for some of you that was a bit tricky, but your desire to serve your ideal audience must feel in alignment with everything else you stand for. Because if you really believe what you're doing is good and what you want to do, and you're helping the right sort of people, then again, you will naturally do more. You'll do more because it'll feel easy. And then we talked about how to talk to that person that you're looking for directly in your communications. All right, so that's just making that message much clearer. Never worry, as I've said before, that you're going to miss people on the outside of your ideal person, because if you're talking to them, you will also speak to other people as well, but you'll make your message much more direct.
I love the charity.
Oh, so do I. I really did. I've done
amazing.
2 customers today, and I told them both at the beginning. I said, if you sign up today, this is what's going to happen. And they absolutely loved it. And
I got lots of likes on my story about that.
Yeah,
so that's good.
They're already thinking about who they can refer me to, because that was such a powerful message to them about what they did. In fact, one was double gold. The other one didn't go double gold in the end because she couldn't, but it didn't matter because I still sowed the seed at the beginning of what we're doing, you know, for these charities, and absolutely brilliant. So how, you know, for me, that really motivated me today, because I wasn't going to do much in December, but now I want to get those young people off the street, you know, and actually that did motivate me. So it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant that you can be helping yourself and your family, but helping other people along the way. There can't be a better business than that, you know. So that's what we really need to get into, the nitty gritty of that, and really, you know, make sure that you're, as I said, leaping out of bed to help people. Okay, so we are going to jump on to the next bit. Now, this is something that we haven't talked a lot about, because this really could be a whole course in itself. Leadership. Now, leadership doesn't just come in if you've got a team to lead. Leadership comes in life in general, because if you are a leader, people will respect you, they'll follow you, they'll trust you, and they will want to be around you. And all of those things are good in business and in life. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean by that? So, you know, a leader doesn't have to be like a leader in a network marketing business. A leader can be in any role that you hold, where you're speaking to people. Being a leader is being a mum, isn't it? At the end of the day, you know, being a parent is being a leader. Being a friend sometimes is being a leader, because you may need to help somebody through challenges and things like that. So this is just some of the stuff. This isn't all of it. But, you know, being leader is about being true to yourself, knowing what you believe in, and making sure that that is obvious in your daily actions. Barry, I know all this stuff really resonates with you, with the discipline and being consistent. You know, that is so important, because if you can't lead yourself, how are you ever going to lead anyone else? And that's what I sort of say to myself every day. You know, come on, you've got to lead by example, even if no one's watching. So leaders are born by people that will do the stuff when no one's watching. You know, they carry on doing the thing way after they've said they're going to do it, you know, and that comes really into goal setting and stuff as well. Don't ask anyone else to do anything you're not willing to do yourself. I live my life by that. Lead by example and show up for yourself every single day, because you are the only person who can change your world. And that comes right back to what I said at the beginning about being the gatekeeper of your mind and not letting other people steal your dream life, right? Because actually, sadly, no one's going to do it for you. People will try and help, but no one's actually going to do it for you. You are the only person that can do that. So there we are. Sue said love number 6. Yeah, I do too. And that's what you've really got to tell yourself. So, okay, you've come on this course, which is fantastic, because that is you showing up for yourself, and that is you investing in yourself, which is brilliant. And now it's just about what you're going to do with what you've learned, but you are the only person that can actually make any changes or make anything happen. So that's good. So that's sort of thrown in there, that slide, really, because I say we haven't talked about that much through these 6 weeks because we haven't had time, but I just wanted to touch on that tonight because I think it's really important. Okay, so now we are talking about just generally your business plan. All right, so this is, going forward, taking what we've learned from the course, taking other things that you'll have thought about. How are you going to now take this information, move it forward and grow your business? So this is just some of the stuff, really. Obviously, set goals, make sure you've got a clear plan, how to achieve them, break them down, etc. Definitely be clear on what you want to achieve. If you're not clear on that, as we know, it's like setting out from home in your car, without a map, without a destination, and just driving around and around in circles. And that's what I think some of us feel like we're doing in business sometimes. We're driving around and around in circles. We haven't really mapped out where we want to go. And then be realistic on your daily activities. So, this is something, when you set a goal, it's all very well saying, right, break it down and we've got to see what you've got to do every day, but you have to be realistic about what your daily activities can be to reach your goal. So it's a case of breaking it down and reverse engineering, but then being prepared to adjust it if that doesn't look feasible for you. Decide, when we're talking about the social media platforms, we mostly talked about Facebook in this group because that's the one that I'm most familiar with, really. But don't try and be everywhere. You see some people that are literally here, there and everywhere on social media, and that is really diluting your message and also diluting your time. I think it was in the workbook. Hang on a second, it might not have been. I think it was. So I'm not going through the workbook, Sean, as I do it. Yeah, it is. It's muddled up a bit in the book. So it says what's your business mission, what do you want to serve. Then we got the leader bit, and then some of these here are in the workbook. So for example, number 6 is where you're going to network. Number 11 was where you're going to network. Number 12 is what 2 social media platforms, etc. All right, Sean. So it is there. It's just not in the same format as we've got here, because obviously I've got to keep thinking. Can't spoon feed you all this information. You've got to look around a bit, haven't you? So we've got the 1 or 2 social media platforms, and then we talked about last time building your audience, growing your list, all the different ways you can be now actually growing your list, having more people to, let's say, sell to. I know that word sometimes isn't great, but ultimately if you want to grow your business, if you want to hit your financial goals in 2022, you need to find more people to sell to. Let's be blunt, that's what you need. All right, so all of those methods we talked about with the Facebook group growing, the email list, your networking, all of those things are basically to give you more abundance of people. All right, so that you don't ever feel like you've just spoken to your last potential customer, because when you do that, it feels pretty rubbish. I know that because I've been that. So it's very nice when you suddenly think, oh gosh, literally, today, 2 customers I signed up today, both were, referrals again from existing customers that just came into my inbox, which is brilliant. But obviously I've been posting stuff on social media, haven't I? I've been poking my customers a bit. Do you know what I mean? I have been, I have got a bit of an email list and things. So it's not just coming from nothing. It's coming from starting to have those conversations regularly that people remember what you do as well. So you've got to keep reminding people what it is that you do. Okay, we are nearly there, I think, for tonight. And then we're going to have a bit of a chat at the end. Oh yes, so this is the other bit tonight, was the how to create raving fans. So this, this is a sort of a funky way, obviously, of saying, how are we going to get loads of referrals? All right, so raving fans are people, but in fact, the 2 people that recommended me today, this is really appropriate, are both what I would consider raving fans of mine, because they are people that I've worked with in the past. I've recommended their stuff, I've bought from them, all this sort of stuff. So everything on here. So if they buy from you first, obviously go above and beyond in your customer service. All right, so that's point number 1. And I have to say, hands up, with it over the years with Utility Warehouse, I haven't always done that. I think it really is the time now to make sure you do. So if you sign up a customer, really make sure that you hold their hand through the onboarding process so that they really know what they're doing with everything. In fact, tomorrow night I'm going to fit someone's internet. I signed up last week, stuff like that, isn't it? It's just being there for them, making sure they really understand the process, making it super simple for them, all that type of thing. If it's appropriate, if they've got products to buy from them too, you know. So I know, Julie, you're really good at this. I know we all try to be, through the Mums in Business group in particular. And if you want to buy stuff, like for, you know, Christmas presents, whatever, try and buy from people that are within your network. You know, buy from people that are in the same situation than you, that have a small business, that need help, that need support. But don't just buy from them, give them great reviews as well. You know, promote what they do. You'll see one of my posts today is I went to a pamper party last night, you know, and I posted on there, thank the host and thank the lady with the products, and said how great the products were, and they are great. So, you know, that was genuine, but obviously that's helped her. And that's the sort of thing we can be doing much more with people, sharing their posts, sharing their products and services, keeping in contact, building those relationships, and always asking how you can help. And talk a little bit about influencers, because obviously when we think of influencers, we think of, well, I think of, you know, someone on Instagram with 40 million followers, or, you know, celebrities on YouTube and stuff like that. But that doesn't need to be that at all. An influencer can be, if you've got a loyal audience, or you've got a loyal following, this could just be your friends on Facebook, then actually you are an influencer because you have influence on a group of people that trust you. That's all that means. So think about who you can swap and collaborate with, you know, that you can promote their products and services. You can tell people it's good. You can do those real proper testimonials, and then they will do the same for you, because that's how you build each other's audiences as well. That's how you build each other's lists. And it's quite simple and easy to do. All I would say is always be authentic. So never recommend anything you don't really believe is good, and, you know, don't ask anybody else to do that for you unless they've actually experienced your product, services, or whatever, so that it is an authentic thing. And I know Adam's not here tonight, but, you know, for example, Adam, I did those lives with Adam, didn't I, last week in the various groups, and he sold a couple of books off the back of that, you know, straight away, which is lovely. And that's, you know, that's a really great thing for you to be able to do with someone. So when I get you all super confident at doing your lives in your group and on your Facebook page as well, that's the sort of thing you can offer to people. And, you know, they will be super grateful. You know, if you can help people grow their business through a really nice interaction like that, they are going to be super grateful. And if as long as they believe in your products and services, because they're good and they're ethical, then they're going to go on and recommend you. And it's just a nice way of making the world go round. So always be thinking about that. It's just thinking outside the box a little bit. Okay, so I just want to say a massive thank you to you all. Obviously, I've got one more slide in a minute just to remind you about the next bit, but obviously it's been great. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you have got lots out of this 6 weeks and lots of thought-provoking things. And I'm going to send out an email tomorrow with all the recordings on one email, literally module 1 right through to module 6. So you'll have that all in one place if you did want to just recap on anything like that. Obviously that's for the people that are watching this on catch up as well, so you'll get that email and you'll have all the recordings on there. And obviously I will also ask you, if you're happy to just give me perhaps a testimonial, your thoughts about the course, and then any feedback you've got on any particular modules, anything that you didn't think flowed, anything that you found difficult to follow, anything like that. All right, so just really please do, if you can, just give me your thoughts on it all. If you're in Passion to Pocket Facebook group and you have enjoyed it, or there's anything that you've picked up that you really felt useful, if you don't mind just popping a short post in there, that would be really useful as well, because obviously this was very, very much a pilot course, so it'd be good. Emma, thank you. I feel a bit like that. I feel a bit sad it's going to know. So should we just keep going every Thursday for the rest of our lives? Right, okay, so I'm just going to click through just a quick reminder about the other bit that's coming up. Now this I've changed. It was going to be £35 until tonight, but I haven't really had time to do much with it, if I'm completely honest. So I have extended the early bird on this till the 7th, which is Tuesday night next week. Thank you, Amy. I know Amy's not here live, I don't think, tonight, but Amy has done a referral, so I owe Amy £10. And I know it's going to be a bit difficult once I start promoting it everywhere, but I will know if there's people I don't know and they're not in my audience and they buy, I am going to know that. So I will ask them. I've already asked the person that Amy recommended who recommended them, so I knew who it was. I'm not expecting hundreds, so I think I'll be able to manage it. So if you do recommend it to anyone, you know, you will get £10 for every referral. And that goes, the £10 will keep going right up until the course starts. But it's just that the early bird price ends on Tuesday night, okay, December the 7th. So that's the link there. Obviously, I'll stick that on an email to you as well. But quite a few of you have already booked, so thank you very much. Quite a few people have. It's quite exciting, but I'm really going to make sure that those 3 days and that workshop and the workbooks and the planners and things you get from that are going to really be useful for you moving forwards to 2022. And I think if you've done this course, it will make even more sense. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously it will be a really good recap on what we've done here as well. Okay, so I'm going to come out of the screen share. So, hi, Kate. I know you came in just after, and hi, Vanessa. I know you came in just after I started waffling at the beginning. So, hope you're well. Hope you're all good. And I am just going to stop the recording now for a minute. Stop.